P is set to go.
We see that on the PFD, Jackie.
And the call from Capcom Jackie Mahaffey here in Mission Control to Reed Wiseman, indicating that the Pyros are armed for crew module, service module separation coming up 1 hour, 38 minutes, 52 seconds from now. Integrity now squarely facing the planet Earth, 17,600 nautical miles away, headed for a splashdown 2 hours, 12 minutes from now. All of the recovery assets, the helicopters, the Navy P-3s, the para-rescue divers, they're all in place, ready to recover this crew following splashdown. And again, the chronology after splashdown will call for the flight control team here in Houston to assess integrity systems, make sure no toxic gases are leaking from the spacecraft. And first order of business will be the command to inflate the crew module uprighting system bags, the 5 inflatable airbags that will be inflated with helium to maintain its upright position as it bobs in the Pacific before the recovery forces reach the crew. About 15 minutes after splashdown is when we expect the green light to be given to power down integrity systems, at which point the recovery teams will begin to make their way toward the vehicle to set up that inflatable life raft called the front porch, buttressed alongside the spacecraft. That will be the precursor to the opening of the hatch and the extraction of the crew members, one by one, into that raft, giving them a chance to get their land legs back as they feel the first sensations of Earth's gravity in 9 days and their high-speed return to Earth, with their peak speed reaching some 24,661 miles an hour.
Muy buenas. En este momento estamos transmitiendo desde la página web de NASA el regreso de Artemis 2 a la Tierra. En estos momentos Artemis está mucho más cerca, aproximadamente le calculo unos 60.000 kilómetros de altura, ¿ya? Va a más de 7.000 kilómetros por hora en este momento. Así que está claramente, va a seguir aumentando su velocidad a medida que se acerca a la Tierra. Va a ingresar a la Tierra a 40.000 kilómetros por hora en uno de los reingresos atmosféricos más peligrosos y más rápidos de toda la historia de la carrera, de carrera espacial. Así que estamos en eso en estos momentos y apenas tengamos alguna novedad, seguimos enviando información.
Houston, Christina's got an amazing view of home planet out the side hatch window, and it's lighting up the cabin, and it's just a great blue hue to it. It's beautiful.
That is amazing. When you kicked us out of the cabin, we turned on one of the SAW cameras and also had the Earth's reflection on one of the arrays. It was very cool.
Oh man, that is amazing.
This is Mission Control Houston. Commander Reed Wiseman reveling about the view of the Earth from a distance of less than 17,000 nautical miles now.
The cabin audio cable and boom mic are in F3 large stowed.
We copy.
The view that Reed Wiseman is describing is the view you're looking at right now as the Earth grows larger in the field of view with each passing moment. We're about 29 minutes away from the start of the NASA Plus coverage, joining our 24/7 YouTube coverage as a simulcast for the remainder of the evening through the time the crew is on the deck of the USS Mertha and in medical bay. So we'll be looking forward to additional reports and other video coverage from the deck of the USS John Mertha and other assets in the splashdown zone as we continue towards splashdown and the return of Integrity's astronauts just 2 hours and 5 minutes from now. A couple of minor updates, just tweaks by a second or so for some of the key activities that will be coming up. Flight Dynamics providing us with some updated information. The start of the blackout period, just a 1 second change. It's going to be estimated now at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. The duration remains 6 minutes. That blackout will end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. all Central Time. We expect to begin entering the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet at 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. And 1 second difference now in our splashdown time. If everything unfolds the way we believe it will, splashdown now scheduled at 7:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Central Time, 7:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Pacific Time at the splashdown zone off the coast of San Diego. one other update. The latest weather forecast from the Spaceflight Meteorology Group passed on to Flight Director Rick Hentling calls for the clouds in the splashdown zone to be in the process of dissipating. The winds are somewhat reduced, now just 6 knots. The wave height's still less than 4 feet. All go forecast. So once again, the stage is set as Integrity continues its inexorable march toward a splashdown in the Pacific 2 hours from now. 16,000 nautical miles away from the Earth. We are just 1 hour and 26 minutes away from crew module, service module separation, followed by a raise burn to tilt the aft end of the vehicle up ever so slightly and improve its angle of attack into the Earth's atmosphere as a mitigating action to reduce heat loads on the heat shield of the vehicle. This is all pre-planned, pre-flight. There's no differentiation between what we had designed this mission to do. We are expecting to reach the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at entry interface and 400,000 feet above the planet 1 hour and 45 minutes from now.
Integrity, Houston. Cabin temp cold soaking is initiated.
Copy that, Jackie. CO2 is 5.5, and we are still doing good on board. Christina and Jeremy are beginning suit on.
Houston copies all. Integrity Houston for entry checklist.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Read, with this time to EI, we expect you're about to be stepping into steps 9 and 10 in the entry checklist. In step 10 for the SIP switch config, there are no deltas.
No deltas to step 10. Copy all.
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, a great view of the planet Earth from Integrity from one of the solar array wing cameras. Now just 14,000 nautical miles from splashdown. Splashdown schedule for 7:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Pacific Time, at a point to the southwest of San Diego in the Pacific Ocean, where the USS John Murtha is on station and where recovery team assets are being deployed to the predicted splashdown site to complete the mission of Integrity's astronauts and their lunar flyby. With the Earth growing larger in the field of view, the next major milestone, just 1 hour and 13 minutes from now, will be the separation of the crew module from the European service module.
Houston copies.
The separation of the crew module will set the stage just 3.5 minutes later.
Go ahead.
When I was looking at the BFSSM SEP, it was the exact same time as our predicted SM SEP. Can you just confirm we don't need that to be a touch later?
And read, matching is expected. That's when the sequence will begin for that whole SEP config.
Outstanding. Thank you for the verification.
Here in Mission Control in the Artemis Flight Control Room, Capcom Jackie Mahaffey confirming some of the timeline activities with Commander Reed Wiseman aboard the vehicle. The crew has suited up in its launch and entry suits, ready to begin the critical phase of this mission. Their homecoming to a high-speed entry and a parachute-assisted splashdown in the Pacific. Once again, the next major milestone, 1 hour, 11 minutes from now, the separation of the crew module from the European service module as Artemis's astronauts head home to complete this historic flight.
2 mission is a test mission of the Orion space capsule.
Artemis 2 will be the first time we put humans on this rocket.
We're going back to the moon because it's the next step in our journey to Mars.
We were always going to the moon.
Pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. It's a part of being a human.
We shall return.
Continuing to test out every bit of Orion.
Coming back to Earth, 7 miles a second.
When humanity sets big goals, we can bring together genius from around the world.
You have the best people on planet Earth putting this vehicle together.
That's what's up. To innovate for the benefit of humanity and to inspire the world through discovery.
Okay, here we go.
1972, 2:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Command Module America splashes down in the Pacific with Gene Cernan, Ron Evans, and Jack Schmidt aboard as the Apollo 17 mission came to an end, along with humanity's first series of expeditions to the moon. Today at this hour, you are looking live at our planet from the Integrity spacecraft, heading for a splashdown in the Pacific off the coast of San Diego just 1 hour and 35 minutes from now. And good day from the Artemis Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where the entry flight control team is on duty at this hour, led by Flight Director Rick Henfling, joined on console with the voice you'll hear talking to the crew throughout the course of the day. That is Jackie Mahaffey, second from your left. Everything has gone extremely well as we are closing in on the return of Artemis's astronauts from their flight around the moon, an historic lunar flyby that will culminate with that splashdown in the Pacific off the coast of San Diego just 1 hour and 35 minutes from now.
And with that, it's a good entry pad, and we can continue in the procedure.
Integrity.
You're looking at a live view inside Integrity. Reed Wiseman on the left doing a fist bump with pilot Victor Glover on the right, and down in the middeck area just below their feet, suited up in their launch and entry suits, are mission specialists Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency. A number of milestones yet to unfold before splashdown just over an hour and a half from now. Earlier today, the crew woke up at about 10:35 a.m. Central Time. They completed the final major maneuver of the flight, that being the return trajectory correction 3 burn. It was an 8-second burn that fine-tuned its trajectory to enter a corridor over the Pacific Ocean a short time from now. That will be the point of entry interface, where the crew will reach the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. The crew moved into its entry checklist just after 4 p.m. Central Time, suited up in those launch and entry suits, conducted leak checks, and now are in the final stages of their entry checklist.
Instruction 115 of entry checklist. SM separation ATP is go.
Houston copies.
The next major milestone on the route home.
Fully zipped, and they're working on EBS and then seating up.
We copy. Thanks for the status.
Jackie Mahaffey talking to Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity. The spacecraft now about 12,000 nautical miles from the Earth's surface. The next major milestone on tap for the crew will be the handover of communications from the Deep Space Network to the Tracking and Data Relay Satellite System. The Deep Space Network came into play after the translunar injection burn back on April 2nd that propelled Integrity toward its lunar flyby. We'll be back on the TDRS network here in about 41 minutes. Following that, the next activity will be the pyrotechnic separation of the crew module from the European service module. That is scheduled at 6:33 p.m. Central Time, followed 4 minutes later by one final critical maneuver. That will be a 19-second burn of Integrity's thrusters in what is called the crew module raise burn. Now, what that does is it basically acts If you were sitting in a reclining chair, you'd basically tilt yourself back. It raises the aft end of Integrity ever so slightly, and that is the final opportunity for us to fine-tune the angle of attack of Integrity through the area of peak heating at entry interface that will come a bit later on, about an hour and 18 minutes from now. So after the raise burn, we will be in the final orientation that will minimize any peak heating on the heat shield of Integrity, and prior to the time the crew enters the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. Entry interface. This is the critical time where the crew will reach the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling 34,882 feet per second. Just 24 seconds after entering the Earth's atmosphere, we will experience a communications blackout expected to last 6 minutes in duration. This is planned, and it is caused by the interaction of the velocity of Integrity with the friction of Earth's atmosphere. There will be a buildup of plasma around the vehicle, and that ionization will prevent any communications with the crew and any receipt of data by flight controllers here in Mission Control. That blackout is scheduled to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. Again, a 6-minute blackout that will end, if all goes as planned, at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time. At that point, we expect to regain communications with the crew and a reacquisition of data through the Tracking and Data Relay satellite system. We will have a series of roll maneuvers. These are computer commanded that will roll the vehicle slightly to the left, then back to the right. That will bleed off excess energy as we begin our peak period of velocity. We expect to reach a maximum velocity of 24,661.21 miles per hour, equivalent to about Mach 33 times the speed of sound, shortly after we enter that blackout period. Once we exit the blackout period, of course, we're in the denser regions of the Earth's atmosphere, and then we get set up for the parachute deployment sequence. First, the deployment of 3 forward bay cover chutes that will pull essentially the top forward bay cover off the very top of the Integrity vehicle. That will be followed by the deployment of drogue chutes, and then the final deployment of a series of 3 main parachutes at 7:04 and 44 seconds p.m. Central Time. From that point on, it is about 3 minutes or so until splashdown. Splashdown scheduled at 7:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Central Time at a gentle speed of 19 miles an hour. So just to give you some perspective, at the time that we enter the Earth's atmosphere, we're traveling somewhere around Mach 32. We will splash down at a speed of about 19 miles an hour. The G-forces that will build on the crew members inside Integrity will build to about 3.9 Gs. That is what is expected and what they have trained for and what the spacecraft is designed to support. The latest weather forecast out in the recovery zone off the coast of San Diego is a GO forecast from our meteorologists here at the Spaceflight Meteorology Group at the Johnson Space Center. And standing by on the deck of the USS John Murtha is my colleague from the Kennedy Space Center, Megan Cruz. Megan?
Hey there, Rob. Yeah, welcome to the bow of the USS John Murtha. This is where we will report out live updates from the ship as NASA and the U.S. military work to recover our Artemis 2 astronauts in just about an hour and a half. How exciting. Now, right now, as you can see, we are out in the Pacific Ocean. We are just west of San Diego. We're actually staged about 6.5 miles away from where we expect Orion to splash down. And then we will incrementally move closer. So at the time of splashdown, we'll be about 5 miles away, and then we will move to 3.2 miles away. At that point, we'll pause, make sure that all the debris that might be coming down with Orion, because basically some parts of like the parachute system, they're jettisoned off Orion during descent. So we'll just want to make sure that those all land in the water and that we are safe to move even closer. So we will make sure that we can move a little closer, and at that point we will move to a mile away from Orion. And at that point the ship will circle the capsule while NASA and Navy recovery forces work to get our astronauts out, and we should have great views of the bow from here. But also we have a ton of cameras all around the ship. For example, we actually have some cameras right to the left of me here on the bow. These are very strong, stabilized cameras. We can really get up close to make sure that we are sharing all the images we have available to you. We also will have some views from above. We actually have 5 planes providing live views of splashdown today. In fact, some of those aerial assets just took off from San Diego minutes ago. And then actually here on the flight deck, you see 4 helicopters, the 2 in the back. Those will take off in about 30 minutes from now, also with live cameras. So again, lots and lots of imagery that we hope to share with you today. And then those 2 helos in the front, those 2 will pluck the crew out of the water and fly them back to our ship. Now, the combined team here on the ship, more than 550 people, left San Diego 4 days ago, and since then I've watched different teams train every day, rehearse, final preps to make sure that they're ready for today. So to give us more of an update about how recovery is going on right now, why don't we turn over to Paul here, Paul Serpinski. He is the Assistant Artemis Recovery Director. Great to have you here, Paul.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Absolutely. So you just left the landing forces operations center here on the ship. How are we looking for recovery?
Right now, it's looking great. When I left, they were just about to get into weather briefing with the Mission Control Center in Houston. But listening to the loops this morning and everything that's been going on, the reentry trajectory correction burn, the return trajectory correction burn went great. They were right down the money, right on the money, right down the middle where they should be coming back. Our forces here are teams out in the water. All our boats are launched or will be imminently. So yeah, it's just coming along great.
Yeah. It's really nice to see. We did see some of those boats float behind us. We were hoping to give you a live view, but of course they floated right out of the camera shot as you came to us. But so basically the team right now here on the ship, basically like monitoring mode, but really things will pick up about 15 minutes after splashdown.
Yeah, so a couple minutes before splashdown, things start happening really, really fast. So some events during the re-entry, they're maybe a second or 2 apart, and so it just takes a whole lot of effort and a lot of updates back and forth between us and Houston to try to keep track of everything that's happening, all in real time. And then after splashdown, that's when the recovery team really kicks into high gear. We have our boat teams, our boat crews going out, our divers, doing hazardous assessments as they get progressively closer to the capsule, making sure, it's safe for all of our people to go in, and it's also safe for the astronauts to come out, because really at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, is we're to make sure that the astronauts get home safe after their tremendous journey to the moon and back. But then also we have, like you mentioned a minute ago, all of our imagery helicopters are taking imagery, camera shots of it as it's coming in all the way through splashdown. I mean, they'll see it as soon as it crosses the horizon, all the way to the ocean here.
And then afterwards, we have to recover actually Orion to bring it into the well deck of the ship.
Absolutely, yeah. And so once the astronauts are safe on board, then those same dive teams are going to transition into securing the capsule. They'll position some equipment around it to kind of facilitate that. The ship will move into position. We'll attach a really big winch line to it, and then a bunch of tending lines. We'll pull the capsule around behind the ship and then start to slowly bring it in. And then, Orion comes in, goes hard down, and everyone cheers.
Great day, exactly. Lots to coordinate, a lot to manage. Basically planning for this recovery, Artemis 2 recovery, started a month after Artemis 1 launched. That was the uncrewed test flight of the Space Launch System rocket, as well as the Orion spacecraft. That was November 2022, a month later, all the planning for this. How does it feel to be so close to welcoming our friends, our astronauts home?
I mean, for the whole team, I walked around the ship this morning, just kind of visiting with a lot of people lot of groups and just kind of get the feel of them. And everyone has that same kind of mentality. Everyone's excited, everyone's thrilled to see all that work that we've been doing, like you said, for the last 3 years, since right after the last one came back till now. And some people even further back, some of them go back a decade or more. So everyone is just excited and they're ready. They're really ready for this, and just to be able to see our crew come back, that's going to be a thrill for everyone.
How are you feeling? Are you ready? Is this something you ever thought you'd be doing?
I'm ready. I'm excited. This has been the pinnacle of my career so far. It really has. I've seen a lot of firsts, a lot of lasts, but I can't think of ever topping seeing the first crew to go to the moon and back in 50 years, and to be here and be a part of that. And it's just a tremendous privilege. And on behalf of the whole team, I'm thrilled, and so are all of us. We're ready.
Yeah, I definitely think that those words really embody how everybody on the ship is feeling. So thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate you being here. And so, Rob, we'll toss it back to you again. We will continue to join you with live updates from the ship as much as possible.
Thank you, Megan. Back here at the Johnson Space Center, the entry team of flight controllers looking over the shoulders of Reed Wiseman and Victor Glover there on the flight deck of Integrity, and again just below their feet in the mid-deck area, if you will, Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency. They're in the final review of their entry procedures and all of the activities that will follow here very shortly in trip hammer fashion. We should note that after splashdown occurs, the flight control team here in Houston will be monitoring the orientation of the Integrity spacecraft. We are expecting it to splash down upright in what is called the Stable 1 configuration, with the top of the spacecraft pointed upward. Stable 2 would indicate that it is upside down in the water. Regardless of the orientation, there will be 5 inflatable airbags called the CMOOS system. That's the acronym for Crew Module Uprighting System.
We are suit dock complete.
Houston copies.
Reed Wiseman acknowledging that the final steps in suit donning are now complete for the crew. Leak checks have been completed earlier. The CMOOS system, those 5 inflatable airbags, will be inflated with helium. Those airbags will ensure that the vehicle remains upright. While that activity is going on, the flight control team here will be checking the systems on Integrity, also making sure that there's no leakage of toxic gas from the spacecraft. It should take about 15 minutes from splashdown to the power down of all of the systems on Integrity, and at that point,
bueno, estimados, en estos momentos queda solamente 1 hora 19 minutos para la reentrada de la cápsula Orion Integrity a la Tierra, a la atmósfera terrestre. Ya los astronautas, como se puede ver ahí, están con sus trajes de regreso, ¿ya? O de ascenso, que son los trajes rojos, naranjos. Eso es para que puedan ser más visibles en caso de que caigan al agua o en otro lugar. Ya es para mayor visibilidad en caso de emergencia. Ya los astronautas están en sus posiciones en este momento y están viendo toda la instrumentación que está en los paneles que pueden ver ahí digitales.
Go ahead.
Seats 3 and 4 are connecting umbilicals. We're going to be stepping into leak check soon. 1 and 2 will be seated. 3 and 4 will be free float, and we'll configure EPROC accordingly.
Houston copies all.
Reed Wiseman talking about the current procedures with the suiting of the crew members and subsequent leak checks, a final leak check for all 4 crew members. Everything is actually running a few minutes ahead of schedule. So once the life raft is inflated next to the Integrity spacecraft and the recovery teams have arrived alongside of the vehicle, the hatch will be open and the crew members will be brought outside into that front porch, as it is called, one by one. They then will be hoisted into the hovering helos overhead, and those helos then will turn around once the 4 crew members are on board, 2 for each helicopter, and will head back to the ship That should be about a 10 to 15 minute transit. Once the helicopters land on the deck of the USS John Murtha, the crew members will be exiting those helicopters and brought into medical bay on the deck on the ship itself for comprehensive medical exams. They will spend a period of time yet to be determined on board the USS John Murtha before they are flown by helicopter to the shore in San Diego, to the San Diego Naval Air Station, and ultimately will board a NASA jet for the flight back to the Johnson Space Center here in Houston. Just to recap some of the key times that are coming up. We are expecting the separation of the crew module from the service module just 43 minutes from now. That is expected to occur at 6:33 p.m. Central Time, 7:33 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be followed just 4 minutes later by the crew module raise burn, the use of Integrity's thrusters one final time in a 19-second burn to slightly tilt the vehicle up into the correct orientation or angle of attack to ensure that it enters the Earth's atmosphere at the right angle, if you will. That will help deflect the buildup of heat against Integrity's heat shield. This was a deliberate move, a change in the procedures from the Artemis 1 mission that resulted in unexpected char loss on the aft coat heat shield that had not been intended based on the entry trajectory for the Artemis 1 mission. What we're doing is we deliberately changed the trajectory of the entry from a skip entry that was about a 3,000-mile transit across the Pacific Ocean. We are expecting now from entry interface to the point of splashdown to have a range of just 1,701 nautical miles, and that in of itself will reduce the exposure time of heating on the heat shield of the spacecraft. Once the raise burn is complete, then the stage is set for entry interface at 6:53 and 31 seconds p.m. Central Time. That means that Integrity will be entering the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling at about 34,882 feet per second, heading for its splashdown site off the coast of San Diego, as you just heard from Megan Cruz on the deck of the USS John Murtha. Splashdown once again under those three main parachutes is expected at 7:07 and 8 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset. The actual total distance traveled for Integrity from launch to splashdown is estimated at 694,481 statute miles. Now that includes the first high elliptical Earth orbit following launch that enabled Integrity to move to 43,000 miles above the Earth at its apogee, and enabling a 24-hour period of systems checkouts before the flight control team here and the mission management team gave approval for Integrity to conduct its translunar injection that propelled it on its way to the moon and its historic lunar flyby. So the total distance we expect this vehicle to have traveled at splashdown, 694,481 statute miles. With everything proceeding on track and on time aboard Integrity, the vehicle system's in excellent shape as the Earth grows larger in the field of view. Let's go back to the USS John Murtha and Megan Cruz, who is standing by.
Hey, yeah, Rob, welcome back. Again, we are out in the Pacific Ocean, staged just about 6.5 miles from where we expect Orion to splash down now in just over an hour. How exciting, and the weather, awesome conditions here. I know you see some wind blowing around my hair, but really nothing to speak of when it comes to having to recover our astronauts, as well as no waves here, really. So yeah, we're expecting a really great day. Also, hopefully, some really great views. You can see behind me that some of the clouds are starting to break up, so that's really exciting. And now, of course, this ship has a lot of people ready and excited to welcome our crew back home, including Dr. Rick Schuring here. He is a NASA flight surgeon. Great to have you here, Rick.
You too, Megan. It is a blessing blessing to be out here this day with our teams. We've trained 3 years for this, nonstop with the U.S. Navy and along with EGS, and we've so looked forward to this day. And just by God's grace, everything's parting, the skies and everything. The crew's doing great. Looking forward to coming back, and our teams are ready. So this is one of those days you've dreamt about, and now it's finally here, and we're ready, and just thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you play a really integral role. When was the last time you spoke to the crew, and how are they feeling in this last hour before splashdown?
Sure. Yeah, so the crew woke up, when they splashed down, they were woken up about 8.5 hours ago. Me and my fellow crew surgeons, Doctors Chris Haas and Rafi Kumjian from the Canadian Space Agency, spoke with them about 6.5 hours ago, just to double check on how they were doing, if there's any medical issues, how they slept, and then kind of go over their landing day protocol for their medications, for what we call a fluid load, to try to replace some of the fluid and electrolytes that they've lost with just a normal space adaptation. Once they got to space, they kind of have to replace some of that fluid to help them with the whole landing kind of readaptation to 1G, which they haven't done for the last 10 days. And then just kind of let them know how things are going to play out, out with the open water teams all the way until we finally get to the med deck. So they were very pumped up, very hurried though. They had a lot of cabin configuration, a lot of things to get ready. So they're excited, but also very focused on the job that they had to do. So, we've trained a long time for this, and we're ready.
And you said some medications. I mean, those are kind of just to mitigate the effects of, obviously, their more than 695,000-mile journey back to Earth. It's just like anti-nausea medication, right?
Yeah, exactly, Megan. The astronauts are very healthy, fortunately, and even when they come back in re-entry, the human system is very kind of dynamic. It has to readapt very quickly, and one of the most common responses they get is just some stomach awareness to some nausea, even to some vomiting. And with our crews that land out in Karagana, the Soyuz crews or our SpaceX crews, they all kind of experience the same thing. This will be the first time we're landing in water since December 1972, and I worked with all the Apollo astronauts years ago, and they all told me that landing in the water, especially in the Pacific, can be very provocative. So we take steps to give them medicines to really mitigate some of that nausea, vomiting, help them feel a little bit better, and also sometimes just use a little anti-inflammatory medicine just to help with coming back to 1 Earth or 1G. The effects of microgravity, especially as you age and you have a little arthritis, you feel great in microgravity, and everyone kind of curses coming back to the ground like, oh dang, 1G, but so that helps a little bit. But for the most part, the main thing is just replacing that fluid and then trying to help them with that transition back to 1G, and then we're ready to go.
Yeah, and their health is assessed almost immediately after they splash down.
Yeah, so we have Dr. Jesse Wang, and we have our independent duty corpsmen, who are the Navy Virgin and paramedics, extremely highly trained, highly experienced Navy medics and divers, who will go out there, open the capsule about 28 minutes after splashdown and do the first initial assessment. So Jesse and his team will go out there and look at each crew, kind of do their assessments, get vital signs, report back to Drs. Haas and Kumji and I back in the med bay, let them know how they're doing, and then if they've got the normal kind of space adaptation kind of things, we expect that they're good to go on that. If anything didn't go the way we want, they're all prepared for that as well. And Jesse and his team, I mean, this is a full-time job taking care of sailors and folks who might be injured. We don't expect any injuries, but coming back, going 25,000 miles an hour down to 20 miles an hour is still a dynamic process. I've heard it described as kind of like a car crash, and then the crew will be ready to go, and Jesse and his team will make that transition to get them out to the front porch, do assessments on them again, call it to our med bay, and then once we have that and they're all good to go and the crew's feeling okay, we'll hoist them up in the helos. It's about a 3-minute flight back to the flight deck, and that's where me and the astronaut chief Scott Tingle will actually meet them. I'll get eyes on them, make sure they're all good, just take very slow transitions, and then one by one we'll either get them out with the SMTs, the SAR med techs, under each arm, just kind of just walk them very slowly to med bay, which actually helps them acclimate back to 1G. Or if they really don't have their sea legs back yet, Then we might put them in what we call a stair chair, which will be right behind them, and then just very slowly kind of get them back into med bay to start our full assessments with the team.
Yeah, so a really great team here to support them as soon as they get back, and also all throughout the mission, of course. You talked a little bit about this, but obviously, you know, we have seen astronauts return from the International Space Station for over 25 years, so we kind of know that that journey, how it affects the body. But yes, we're talking about humans returning from the moon for the first time since 1972. How is this different from your perspective?
So it's different in one very significant respect. With on Apollo, for exercise, they had something called the Apollo Exergenia, which was basically just a little canister with some ropes, and they would have some resistance and kind of do that. And the Apollo astronauts really liked that. They liked the ability to exercise, because you decondition from a musculoskeletal standpoint, you lose your strength and your stamina very quickly. We had something called the Orion flywheel, which was able to impart much greater loads in terms of resistance, so they're able to do squats, deadlifts, different things, not dissimilar to what the ISS astronauts do, but with a lot less room to do it. And they also did rowing activities for cardiovascular health, and the crews loved it. But for the lunar crews, the future lunar crews, maintaining that physical conditioning, which our astronaut strength conditioning rehabilitation specialists, affectionately known as the ACERs, back in Houston, really worked hard to get them in the best shape they're going to, have to be in to get to the moon. That device hopefully will maintain that. And Apollo only had about a 4.3-day journey to the moon. Our astronauts are going to have about a 10 to 14-day journey. So maintaining that physical fitness, that strength and stamina is going to be crucial for the success of being able to do those very physically demanding lunar EVAs. So we're very excited about what the astronauts have said about the device and what they have to say about the role exercise plays, going to the moon. And also the mental benefit.
Sure.
They just really like sweating, breaking the sweat, and actually just feeling like, they're just getting a workout.
Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate it. I know they're going to be in good hands, so we'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the time.
Back to you, Rob.
Okay, Megan, back here in Mission Control in Houston. Everything is moving along in order. This view of Reed Wiseman on the left, Victor Glover on the right. We have good suit leak checks. Everything aboard Integrity is in excellent shape. The vehicle, with the Earth growing larger and larger in the field of view, we're now just about 8,200 nautical miles away from Earth and closing in for a splashdown just 1 hour and 5 minutes from now.
Integrity, just under a minute till your GPS maneuver initiates, and both GPS units look eager to acquire.
Outstanding. Seats 3 and 4 are working on seat strap in now.
Houston copies.
Once again, as we start to close in on some of the major milestones, the first one coming up in just 31 minutes.
And Integrity, just confirming the LCG gas trap was able to be closed out.
Affirmative.
Copy.
Crew module, service module separation scheduled just 31 minutes from now.
Quedan 31 minutos para la separación del módulo de comando con el módulo de servicio de la Agencia Espacial Europea. Así que estamos ya a punto ya de, digamos, de 31 minutos faltan para que la cápsula quede, digamos, desacoplada, digamos, de ese módulo, ¿ya? Ese módulo es el que lleva los paneles solares, lleva, digamos, combustible, lleva, digamos, parte de los el motor cohete y todo lo que tiene con los cohetes Vernier. Y se tiene que deshacer de él antes de efectuar la reentrada atmosférica. Por lo tanto, está a punto, 31 minutos faltan para la separación. Lo que estamos viendo ahí es una maniobra de cambio de actitud de la nave, de la nave Orion, y que está en estos momentos mostrando un poco, bueno, la verdad que hermosa la Tierra se ve, el terminador, y me parece que abajo lo que se está viendo ahí es parte de Antártica, si no me equivoco. Es decir, el lado sur de la Tierra.
When we return from the moon, we expect to achieve velocities upwards of 36,000 feet per second. And in order to slow down to a nice, graceful splashdown,
Ahí estamos viendo una animación de la reentrada atmosférica.
Between 3 and 4 times the force of Earth's gravity. On Artemis 1, pressure buildup inside the char layer of the heat shield resulted in the char losses we saw. NASA established a Tiger team whose job was to investigate the cause of the problem and then make.
Ahí está hablando que NASA estuvo con un equipo de trabajo especializado viendo cuáles pudieron haber sido algunas fallas que pudo haber tenido la cápsula Orion de la misión Artemis 1 al momento del reingreso atmosférico, la cual tuvo algunos se desprendió parte, digamos, del material del escudo térmico. En base a eso se tuvo que modificar un poco la trayectoria de reentrada.
To the splashdown zone from the point of entry interface when we reach the top of the Earth's atmosphere, which will be coming up at 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time, should do the trick in minimizing the deleterious forces against that heat shield that were noticed on the Artemis 1 mission.
We think we see a beautiful sunrise over the west coast.
Ahí podemos ver los astronautas. A la derecha, si no me equivoco, está Víctor Goblev. Ahora estamos viendo parte de la estación del centro de comando. Están viendo la telemetría y todo lo que tiene que ver con, digamos, la trayectoria de la cápsula Orion.
In space on this mission, as integrity is passing over the southwest coast of Australia now.
Está pasando al sureste de Australia en este momento la misión Artemis.
That will begin the southwest and northeasterly transit across the Pacific Ocean. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the highlights and some of the numbers associated with the points of
la velocidad son
We are
13.600 millas por hora. Por Dios. Es impresionante la velocidad con la cual está llegando Orión. Está en estos momentos a 8.000 millas de la Tierra. ¿Ya? Impresionante la velocidad. Una milla, recuerden, es 1,6 kilómetros.
That's the point at which we will reach the top of the Earth's atmosphere, traveling about 34,882 feet per second at an altitude of 400,000 feet. Just 24 seconds after entry interface, we will begin a blackout period of 6 minutes in duration at 6:53 and
El blackout va a ser de 6 minutos aproximadamente. Eso quiere decir que la nave va a estar sin comunicación alguna con tierra.
The blackout period begins. We are expected to reach peak speed, which would be 24,661 miles an hour. That'll be about 103 miles an hour short of the velocity record set by the Apollo 10 astronauts, Tom Stafford, Gene Cernan, and John Young, when they returned from the moon on the Apollo 10 mission in 1969. That blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes in duration.
El blackout va a durar 6 minutos. Ya en el blackout no aparece ninguna, no es posible poder transmitir ninguna señal de radio desde la nave, ya, debido a que el plasma produce, el que envuelve la cápsula produce una especie de jaula de Faraday, por así decirlo, en la cual ninguna onda de radio puede salir de la nave, por lo tanto no se puede contactar con tierra. Quedan 59 minutos para el reingreso atmosférico.
Talking to the crew, calling them, and we'll await a response from the crew as they come out of that blackout period. And at that point, their altitude will be just 157,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at 13,000 feet per second, with a range.
La reentrada va a ser a 40.000 kilómetros por hora. Ya, esa va a ser tremenda, una velocidad increíble.
From that point on, the next key series of events will be the deployment of a series of parachutes that we discussed before. First, the forward bay
Cuando la cápsula pase a la estratosfera y capas más densas de la atmósfera, se van a abrir los paracaídas. Sigue sacando fotos ahí Wright Wiseman. Bueno, Wright Wiseman es un excelente astrofotógrafo. Ya estuvo acá en la ciudad de Punta Arenas, Chile, Torre del Paine después, el año 2008, y quedó fascinado por la Patagonia. De ahí que cuando fue astronauta de la Estación Espacial Internacional, expedición número 40, le sacó muchísimas imágenes a la Patagonia chileno-argentina. Así que, digamos, es astronauta que tiene cierta pertenencia, por lo menos aquí con el Cono Sur. Él es el comandante de la misión. A la derecha de la pantalla está Victor Glover. Víctor Glover se ha destacado por ser uno de los astronautas que se le ha tenido mucho cariño, muy mediático con la comunidad. Él es cristiano evangélico, si no me equivoco, así que te ha mandado unos mensajes muy hermosos, digamos, desde la nave Orion.
Rick Shearing, the flight surgeon, alluded to in his interview with Megan Cruz, all of this happens to decelerate
Abajo de ellos está Christina Koch y está también Jeremy Hansen de Canadá.
All of that happening in just 13.5 minutes. But the vehicle and the parachutes are all designed to support all of that, so we'll be standing by to report all that to you in sequential fashion as these milestones are ticked off and as we hear from the crew during its entry back into the Earth's atmosphere and ultimately when they emerge from the blackout period, and at that point we'll be just minutes away from splashdown.
Claro, dicen que después de que termine el blackout van a haber muy pocos minutos para el splashdown, que es justamente cuando tocan el mar. Recordemos que Orión va a caer en el Océano Pacífico frente a la costa de California.
From the USS John P. Murtha and Megan Cruz. Megan? And we'll regain that communication with the USS John P. Murtha just momentarily. In the meantime, everything is on track aboard Integrity, the flight control team here in Houston.
Quedan 56 minutos para el splashdown.
The voice you will hear talking to the crew is that of
quedan más o menos unos 28 minutos para el desacople, digamos, de la cápsula.
Their reports as they enter the Earth's atmosphere for their 13.5-minute plunge back into the atmosphere for splashdown off the coast of San Diego. Now we have the ship back with us and Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha. Megan?
Bueno, ahora van a ir a uno de los buques que está justamente esperando el splashdown o digamos el amerizaje, digamos, de la cápsula Orión. Están viendo cómo está el clima en este momento a través de unos globos sonda de atmosféricos. Es importante el clima porque igual dentro de lo que es el amerizaje, evidentemente que hay que hacer misiones de rescate de los astronautas. Recordemos que ellos no aterrizan como los rusos en la pampa, digamos, sino que aterrizan en el agua. Este es un comandante del buque.
That's absolutely right, yeah. But first of all, on behalf of the crew of USS John P. Murtha, Megan, thanks for having me on today.
Eric Kenny, comandante oficial comandante del USS John. Ahí tenemos el deck o la plataforma de los helicópteros que van a despegar para poder, digamos, recuperar a los astronautas que van a estar en el aterrizaje.
Yeah, absolutely. Every commanding officer, I would say really every naval service member, our priority is always safety. And as the commanding officer, I take
Ahí estamos viendo una cámara que está, por lo visto, a bordo de un helicóptero B-22 Osprey ya por la configuración de las hélices, así que está observando básicamente cómo va a ingresar la cápsula en la troposfera.
But really over the past 24 hours, now I'm trying to get us to slow down a little bit. Trust our training, right? Don't believe all the hype. Don't believe everything that's going on. Just let's trust what we've done to get to this point, and if we do that, we'll be successful today.
Dicen que han entrenado muchísimo para tener éxito hoy día en las misiones de rescate.
NASA and the U.S. military. How does it feel being able to support the human space program we have?
Yeah, I mean, since 1959 with Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, the history between NASA and the Navy has been in lockstep.
Dice que la Armada y la NASA han tenido una gran tradición histórica a partir de las misiones Mercury, Gemini y Apolo.
4 or 5 years, really, this ship over the past year, we've constantly trained and working.
Durante los últimos 5 años, este buque ha estado entrenando justamente para poder hacer el rescate de hoy y los que vengan a futuro.
We work, working with NASA, the Air Force, the medical team.
Trabajan con la Fuerza Aérea también.
You want to talk about high performance organizations coming together, working in unison.
Son organizaciones de muy alta performance. No, estos tipos entrenan harto, de verdad. Estados Unidos.
Yeah, you had some great words this morning saying just that again. That it's really nice to see everybody working together and so excited.
Bien cachado poder verlos trabajar juntos, dice la chica.
Back in February. How does it personally feel for you to be a part of this historic?
¿Qué sentimiento tiene usted en participar de esta misión? Es una tremenda oportunidad poder comandar cualquier buque de esta armada y sirve para cualquier carrera de cualquier oficial. Y está muy honrado en participar y comandar la misión de rescate de Artemis. Esta tripulación ha entrenado muchísimo.
It is what inspires me, listening to NASA and the ownership and pride they take.
Ver a la NASA, ver a los privados confiando en nosotros. Esa sinergia es muy importante y muy feliz para mi carrera. También hay algunos partners internacionales, le dicen. Sí, sí, también. Bueno, siguen en la misión de control. Vamos a tratar de que tengamos la visión de la tripulación de nuevo. El equipo de reentrada está muy atento, tratando de comunicarse con la nave. Todas las comunicaciones están a través de la Deep Space Network. Tienen algunos pequeños segundos de retraso. Pronto la nave va a estar ya bajo la órbita de los satélites, por lo tanto eso es para poder transmitir mejor la información. Recordemos que en este momento Orion Integrity está sobre la órbita de los satélites de telecomunicación de órbita baja, porque ya está debajo, a ver, y todavía un poco debajo de los geoestacionarios, ¿ya? Sí, claro que sí. Una vez que esté, hay que ver cuál es la trayectoria actual de la telemetría. Vamos a averiguar la telemetría actual. Vamos a ver si lo podemos encontrar.
And a very longer period of exposure to heat loads than we're experiencing tonight. It also had that skip entry profile that we discussed earlier, dipping into the Earth's atmosphere, then back out, then back in. It was about 20 minutes of exposure.
Integrity, Houston, com check on TDRS.
En estos momentos, la Integrity está a 10.640 kilómetros de la Tierra. Por lo tanto, ya tiene cobertura de satélites geoestacionarios que están a 36.000. La velocidad en estos momentos de Integrity es de 24.248 kilómetros, por Dios, 24.000 kilómetros por hora, ¿ya? Es una tremenda velocidad.
So the Artemis 1 entry had the vehicle.
Any update on GPS? We haven't seen a track yet.
Estamos en directo y en vivo desde la página de NASA.
Reed, we are watching, we are starting to get into the window where they may start acquiring, so should be within the next 10 minutes.
Ya queda mucho menos tiempo ya para el desacople y para que la cápsula quede solita. Vamos a ver si podemos hacer una pequeña Están tratando ahora ya de conectarse con el sistema GPS de la nave. Ya recordemos de que ya están a 10.000 kilómetros de distancia y por lo tanto ya tienen capacidad de contactarse con los satélites GPS que están en órbita media. Los satélites GPS, Beidou y todos los otros satélites de navegación están en una órbita de 10.000 kilómetros, ya APP. Por lo tanto ahora ya podría haber telemetría tipo GPS con la Orion y no necesariamente depender del Deep Space Network que estaba dependiendo durante casi 4 trayectos hacia la Luna. En lo que es navegación, por lo menos.
To protect the heat shield, since the Artemis 3 mission and beyond will have a different designed heat shield that will allow that skip entry type of
Rob Nadias es la voz en off en este momento de las comunicaciones de NASA.
Coming back from the south pole of the moon when we initiate lunar landings.
Bueno, podemos ver ahí una maqueta del Orion, está muy buena esa de la cohete SLS.
Just to give you some time hacks here, we're 13.5 minutes away from crew module, service module separation, and just 17 minutes away from the raise burn, that 19-second firing of the
ya queda menos para el desacople entre el módulo de comando y el módulo de servicio.
Basically be the final fine-tuning of the angle of attack.
Es muy importante con cuál va a ser el ángulo de ataque con el cual va a enfrentar Artemis en la reentrada. Vamos a hacer un pequeño recorte con la cámara para poder mostrarles cuál es el tema del ángulo de ataque, porque hay muchas preguntas al respecto. Vamos a ver si podemos, estamos sin interrumpir la transmisión, pero vamos a tratar de poner la cámara, vamos a tratar de encender la cámara, a ver si la encontramos. Vamos a ver.
And once again,
no sé si está viendo
a dueling box view of some of the assets that are involved in recovery operations.
Bueno, aquí tenemos justamente una cápsula. ¿Ya? Acá podemos ver la cápsula con los astronautas adentro. ¿Ya? Esta es una cápsula Apolo. ¿Ya? Pero lo importante acá es el ángulo con el cual va a ser la reentrada. El ángulo, la idea es que sea medianamente 90 grados en relación a la dirección en la cual está, digamos, avanzando, por así decirlo, para que el escudo térmico pueda, digamos, enfrentar lo que es el roce atmosférico, ¿no es cierto? Mientras va cayendo la Tierra. La idea es que sea así, justamente. Si es así, estamos en problemas. Ya tiene que ser así. Ese es el ángulo de ataque, ¿ya? Ese es el ángulo de ataque. Vamos a volver nuevamente a la transmisión de NASA.
That call from spacecraft communicator Jackie Mahaffey indicating that we're 2 minutes away from a quick burst of the reaction control system. Thrusters, that will be a hot fire test prior to the separation of the crew module from the service module. The European service module has performed flawlessly throughout this flight. Everything, all the burns that had been prescribed for that service module.
Hasta ahora todo ha funcionado a la perfección y a tiempo.
And without a problem, there is the European flight control room.
Hay una parte de la Agencia Espacial Europea que está también digamos, en la sala de control. Recordemos que la Agencia Espacial Europea es la responsable también del sistema de propulsión del módulo de comando, del módulo de servicio. Esto está en Holanda, en la ciudad de Noordwijk, Agencia Espacial Europea. Ellos son súper importantes igual, ¿eh? La idea es que el desacople se produzca, ¿ya? Ahí ven en la imagen, tiene que desacoplarse la cápsula del módulo de comando y servicio, del módulo de servicio que ven ahí, que es de color blanco. El módulo de servicio es el que tiene los paneles solares, tiene motor cohete y tiene el resto de los cohetes Vernier. Motores cohete. Vamos a ver ahora la telemetría, vamos a consultar la telemetría para poder ver a qué distancia está la Tierra. Ahí está con código imperial, digamos con el sistema de traje imperial. Vamos al sistema métrico a ver si lo encuentro. Ese es un helicóptero Black Hawk de la Armada de los Estados Unidos, un UH-70. Ah, un Seahawk. Así que van a ir con helicópteros Seahawk, que es un derivado del Black Hawk. Van a gestionar los drones.
Integrity traveling about 16,000 miles an hour.
For the prop caution for taking a look.
Copy that.
Now just about 5,100 miles from Earth.
Estamos a 16, a 5.000 millas. No queda nada, no queda nada. 5.000 millas. Solo 5.000 millas.
We are confirming.
Integrity, we are assessing details, but so far looks like a good hot fire.
Looks good on board, Jackie. Thank you.
Está todo en orden hasta ahora. Ahí vemos un cambio de orientación de la cápsula. ¿Ya?
In advance of the crew module service module separation that's coming up just 8.5 minutes from now. This will begin the period in which we will have rapid-fire succession of critical activities on board that will lead to entry interface just 28 minutes from now, where the vehicle will enter the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. The time of entry interface, 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time.
Vamos a ver. Esperemos que salga todo bien. Tiene que desacortarse esa cosa de ahí. Eso, lo que pasa es que da un poco de terror, no terror, pero sí no depende de NASA. O sea, es un trabajo conjunto entre NASA y la Agencia Espacial Europea. Entonces la idea es que los dos equipos hagan bien su pega, ya, para que la nave pueda hacer un buen reingreso atmosférico.
Integrity's astronauts were awakened at mid-morning to begin their entry preparations. And propulsion officer now reports a good hot fire test in preparation for the crew module service module separation.
Ya, en estos momentos la distancia a la Tierra es de 7.700 kilómetros. Repito, 7.700 kilómetros.
Integrity Houston, we have confirmed a good CMRCS hot fire, and although we are not seeing GPS acquired yet, you can skip the troubleshooting step in 157 for now.
Integrity copies.
Estamos acá desde las instalaciones de Magellan Space Industries, transmitiendo para todos ustedes en español para poder, digamos, dar algunos detalles respecto de este tremendo hito histórico en la cual el ser humano está regresando una vuelta a la Luna tras 54 años desde el año 1972. Ahí podemos ver la cápsula Orion. 39 minutos quedan para el splashdown, que es el amerizaje. Splashdown, amerizaje.
We are confirming.
La velocidad actual de la nave Orion, no me van a creer, es de 19.225 kilómetros por hora. No, perdón, 25.186 kilómetros por hora.
and go to what's called
25.000 kilómetros por hora, estimados. Está viajando Orión hacia la Tierra.
so that we can talk to
Increíble.
the crew inside Integrity as they are on the water.
Integrity, confirm we do see good GPS.
We do too, especially GPS 1 is accepting in nav channels 1 and 3.
That GPS data is basically telling Integrity's onboard computers its position relative to the Earth, but its trajectory and its orientation according to flight dynamics, and the guidance, navigation, and control officer is spot on.
Spot on. No entendí eso.
We have now armed the pyros for the crew module service module separation coming up less than 5 minutes from now.
Dijo que en 5 minutos iba a separarse el módulo de comando con el módulo de servicio.
Once again, just 10 seconds after entry interface, we will see Integrity reaching its peak speed of 24,661.21
25.186 kilómetros por hora actualmente va Orión.
That will be just seconds before we begin a 6-minute blackout period.
Integrity, Houston.
Y te diría a
Your
Houston.
vehicle is in a good config for CM-SM SEP and go for CM raise.
El vehículo está en buenas condiciones. Le están diciendo desde tierra.
Same on board and copy, go for CM raise.
Ok, nosotros también vemos que estamos bien. Estamos listos para el race. No sé qué es lo que es el race, pero
That
vamos a
CM raise referred to as the slight firing of 19 seconds by Integrity's thrusters.
Ya, van a encender un poco los propulsores del Integrity por 90 segundos. Ya cabrón, acá la cosa se pone grúa para poder tener un buen ángulo de ataque respecto del regreso atmosférico. Ya explicamos lo que es el ángulo de ataque, lo explicamos con una maqueta recién, si que se lo explico de nuevo, ahí me avisa.
Downrange from the start of entry interface, some 1,701 nautical miles to the splashdown site. Integrity systems in excellent shape.
Integrity está en una excelente forma.
3,300 nautical miles left in this mission. Splashdown scheduled 36 minutes, 39 seconds from now.
Acá lo más importante en este momento es que funcione bien ese gancho que ustedes pueden ver ahí. No sé si logran ver ahí un gancho.
We think it could happen again when the thrusters fire in the future, so we are going to suppress those messages.
We concur with suppress, not inhibit. Thank you.
That exchange between Jackie Mahaffey, our Capcom for tonight, and Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity, indicating basically to ignore sensor data. All of Integrity's systems are in good shape. Now, coming up on about 90 seconds till the crew module, service module separation. All quiet here in Mission Control as we enter the most critical phase of the completion of this flight. All of the preparatory activities leading up to the vehicle entering the Earth's atmosphere just 21 minutes from now.
Ese gancho tiene que funcionar, ¿ya? Ese gancho tiene que desprenderse. Tiene que abrirse ese gancho para que la cápsula pueda ser desacoplada del módulo de servicio.
Mark, 1 minute till crew module, service module separation.
1 minuto para la separación. Esta parte es muy importante, chicos. Ahora, gran parte del trabajo es de la Agencia Espacial Europea, que tiene que mover ese gancho que ustedes pueden ver ahí. Por eso que la cámara está enfocando el gancho. Vamos a ver. Bien, excelente.
And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation. And a great view, albeit momentarily.
Houston, good step on board.
Bien.
Copies and concurs.
The European service module now separated from Integrity. A job well done.
Integrity, no action for the 4 CDH cautions. Those are SM related, not applicable.
Integrity.
La ESA cumplió bien, estimados. Agencia Espacial Europea ya acaba de terminar su participación en la misión. Y ahora Integrity está volando solita en este momento, dejándose caer. Y ahora Integrity, vamos a ver ahora si tiene, no sabía que Integrity tenía unos pequeños retrocohetes por lo visto.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark until the raise burn. Again, this is the final tweaking.
Ahora vienen 2 minutos más para el tema de retrocohetes.
To put it in the right angle, if you will, the angle of attack that it will fly in during its entrance into the Earth's atmosphere. Entry interface now just 18 minutes, 25 seconds away. This is a visualization, but driven by real-time telemetry. This is the maneuvering of Integrity to the raise burn orientation. Just 2,800 miles from Earth.
Houston, we got a great view of the European service module out the window with the sun hitting the side and the solar rays and the NASA worm right there. It's a beautiful looking machine.
Roger.
Estamos acá con realmente los pelos de punta. Estamos realmente está todo el planeta aquí observando.
1 minute away from the raise burn.
1 minuto para el cambio de ángulo de ataque. Vamos que se puede. Quedan 20 minutos. Sí. Ustedes no van a ir.
And the crew module raise burn is underway. A 19-second firing of the thrusters. And we have a completion of the burn.
Integrity, good. CM raise burn. Your flight path angle is within limits.
Está dentro del ángulo de ataque, dentro de los límites.
Integrity copies. Looks good on board, Jackie.
So the final maneuver is now complete. Our trajectory for a splashdown in the Pacific 29 minutes from now is set. and will
Ya,
not
está
be
listo.
amended
El ángulo de
further.
ataque está listo.
And we have the right
Está
angle of
correcto.
attack to mitigate any
Así que ahora todo
excessive
depende de la
heat loads
mecánica
on the vehicle
orbital y de
during
la gravedad.
interface.
Integrity Houston, a heads up about
Ya
calm
el ser humano,
coverage.
digamos, hizo todo lo que tenía que hacer
When you
para que,
perform the
digamos, la gravedad
180
ahora
roll
atrape
for the first
esta
minute or so,
nave, ¿no es
that
cierto?
attitude
Y pueda
affect about a
dirigirse
minute
por la
or less.
trayectoria.
We copy.
So for those who are watching the series of events coming up, we will enter the first traces of Earth's atmosphere 14 minutes 45 seconds from now. 6:53 and 30 seconds is what is pegged for entry interface at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling at approximately 34,800 feet per second, range to touchdown or splashdown 1,701 nautical miles. 24 seconds after entry interface, we will enter a 6-minute blackout period in which we will lose communications with the crew. This is expected due to the buildup of plasma around the vehicle. That's an ionization effect due to the collision, if you will, of the velocity of the spacecraft with the friction of the Earth's atmosphere. That 6-minute blackout is expected to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. During that period of time, we will reach our peak speed of 24,661 miles per hour. That comes just short, based on unofficial data from the flight dynamics officer right now, will come just short of the velocity record set by Apollo 10 of 24,791 miles per hour in 1969. We expect peak heating on the vehicle at 6:54 and 52 seconds p.m. Central Time, a minute and 22 seconds into entry interface. At that point, we will be just 204,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at
Solamente mi voz.
33,000 feet per second. The blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes. We expect that blackout period to end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time. From the end of the blackout period until splashdown, it is just 7 minutes.
Maniobras humanas, ya, digamos, se hizo todo lo que había que hacer. El desacople fue correcto, el desacople fue correcto, y también, digamos, la maniobra la maniobra de cambio de orientación.
The parachute deployment sequence, once again, will come in several segments, but in rapid-fire succession.
And we have a great view of the moon out window 2. Looks a little smaller than yesterday.
Guess we'll have to go back.
Reed Wiseman and Jackie Mahaffey exchanging discussion on a view of the moon that Integrity's astronauts are seeing in the final minutes of this mission that will be completed with splashdown just 25 minutes from now. 3 forward bay cover parachutes will be used to pull the forward bay cover off the top of the vehicle. Then 2 drogue parachutes will be deployed to slow and stabilize the crew module during its descent, followed by 3 pilot parachutes that will lift and deploy the main parachutes from the forward bay. The final sequence will have 3 main parachutes deployed. These will be 116 feet in diameter, each main parachute approximately 265 feet long when reefed. The parachutes will ultimately slow Integrity down from its peak speed of almost 33 times the speed of sound to a gentle 19 miles an hour at splashdown. The vehicle is now currently in a roll to the proper attitude for entry interface. Our trajectory is right on according to flight dynamics. Integrity is on a trajectory from southwest and northeast across the Pacific Ocean, descending at a rate of 15,000 feet per second.
Quedan 23 minutos y 18 segundos para el amerizaje. Hubo una pequeña corrección de maniobra de actitud, por lo que pude ver en la pantalla principal. Y eso lo que estamos viendo ahí parece ser una ventana de la cápsula. No sé cuál será la idea. A ver, vamos a escuchar bien.
Orion in the EI roll 180 attitude.
Let's get on board, Jackie.
This view out of one of Integrity's windows.
Sí.
We had a call for 3 good barrows. Those are barometric pressure sensors that feed altitude and rate of descent information to Integrity's computers that will trigger the parachute deployment sequence. We are less than 9 minutes away from entry interface, 22 minutes from splashdown.
Creo que ya vamos a empezar a escuchar solamente el audio de NASA. Vamos a quitar la música porque ahora viene la parte más tensa de todo este momento. Y veo que se está moviendo mucho la nave. Ya está haciendo un roll. Se están viendo ahí los astronautas. Me preocupa un poco que veo mucho roll. Me preocupa que veo roll. No sé, pensé que estaba todo listo.
Just about 4 feet. A gentle day in the Pacific for the homecoming of Integrity's astronauts.
Integrity back in EI attitude.
Le está diciendo Integrity que corrija la actitud, parece.
We see the same on board, Jackie. Houston, purge is complete. Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
Houston copies.
Está así.
And we're in step 37, transferring NASA to BFS.
Ya, estimados. A ver, vamos a ver qué es lo que está sucediendo acá. Parece ser de que la cápsula hizo un roll, ¿ya? Se ve en estos momentos más estable que lo que se vio hace unos segundos atrás. Se puede ver un poco que ya está más cerca de la Tierra y se puede ver que está cerca del terminador. Ya el terminador está abajo, en la parte inferior de la pantalla. Se puede ver que está el Sol. Y están empezando a haber problemas de conectividad.
Integrity, no action required.
No se requiere ninguna actitud, Integrity. Por favor, suelte los mandos, le están diciendo.
Now 6 minutes away from entry interface. We will hit the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. traveling about 34,882 feet per second. Range to splashdown at that point will be 1,701 nautical miles.
Estamos todos realmente de un hilo acá.
And once again, just a reminder, some 24 seconds after entry interface, we do expect to lose communications with the vehicle and the crew during a 6-minute blackout period when a plasma shield will build up around the spacecraft due to the ionization, due to heating effects. And Flight Dynamics has just confirmed we will have a blackout period of exactly 6 minutes in duration. And once again, that's due to the fact that a plasma buildup around the vehicle will prevent communications and data, so we will not be able to talk to the crew members at that time, nor will we receive data here in the flight control room.
Houston, everything's looking good on board. Just confirm no pre-EI downloads.
Houston concurs.
That blackout period to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time, and again will last about 6 minutes in duration. We're 4 minutes away from entry interface.
Ya está en el Pacífico. Uy, qué tenso esto. Ojalá que todo salga bien, Padre Celestial.
This view from Integrity as it crosses from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean, 3 minutes from entry interface. "16.5 minutes till splashdown." The USS John P. Murtha and the recovery team is on station and in position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere and through parachute deployment. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape. The crew is ready to complete its mission just 15.5 minutes from now. All of the activities today have gone off in perfect fashion. No issues with the vehicle, no issues with the crew. And the weather at the splashdown site is go. Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface. Mark 1 minute until entry interface. 1 minute, 20 seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
Integrity, 1 minute to a 6-minute blackout.
Integrity.
Dios mío. Está realmente
10
va muy
seconds till
rápido.
entry interface.
20 segundos para el blackout.
And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second.
Miércoles, ¿qué fue eso?
Time to splash down, 13 minutes, 10 seconds. And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout. This will be a 6-minute blackout period. No voice, no data from the crew. We're 30 seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory. And from the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view of integrity.
Estoy con el culo a dos manos, pero vamos que se puede.
So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st. Four and a half minutes until the end of the blackout period. Time to splash down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds. The landing and support officer reports that the P3 has acquisition on Integrity. Three and a half minutes left in this blackout period. This is a visualization of the plasma buildup around the spacecraft and the repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield.
Mira, tío. ¡Ah! ¡Qué crudo esto! ¡Ah! ¡Qué fuerte! Sí, lo estoy grabando todo. Ah, no, pero estoy con micrófono. No, no te preocupes que te escuchen. Sí, no hay problema. Mira, así va en este momento. Sí,
Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the
Porque
vicinity of
ese
the
roce
splashdown zone do have a
va tan
visual
rápido
on Integrity.
que
Still
así
2 minutes
va,
and 40 seconds left in our blackout period.
muy cuático.
Time to splash down, 9 minutes, 35 seconds.
9 minutos para el splashdown. Chicos, vean cómo se está
Multiple airborne
la
assets.
cápsula, cómo está
As part of the
entrando.
recovery team, all have visuals on integrity.
Está reentrando la cápsula, ¿no? Pero qué tremendo. Mira, 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 mira,
And
mira,
the
verlo.
WB-57 flying in the splashdown zone also has a visual.
La cápsula, mira, va así.
And the Navy helos also have
Y va
visuals.
avanzando hacia allá. Entonces está calentando todo este escudo y los astronautas están ahí. ¿Cachai? Entonces imagínate lo que es estar sentado y
We're still
atrás
in the
hay
blackout period.
2800 grados Celsius.
Still do not
protegidos
have
de...
communications from the crew.
¡Oh! Dios, Dios santo. Algún día no va a ser necesario hacer esto porque vamos a tener campos magnéticos, vamos a tener escudos. No, falta súper poco, deben faltar como unos 8 minutos para el splashdown, para el amenizaje. Sí, pero yo creo que lo primero es un campo magnético, un escudo magnético para no tener que hacer esto. Sí, se lo está viendo. Ya lo vio. Ay, ay, ay.
We're standing by for communications from the crew. We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
Sí, pues se emociona, lo está viendo también. No sé cuándo lo estará viendo, tiene que estarlo viendo por
We are
internet
now
porque yo estoy con la
processing
mejor.
data from integrity.
Sí. Sí, no, es todo. ¿Ah? Lo que pasa
Landing and
es que
support
Megavisión lo está
officer reports
transmitiendo,
the
pero
small
está
boats are
atrasado
en
3
route to the
minutos.
splashdown target zone. Passing through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views of integrity. Still waiting to establish voice communication.
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
Guidance looks good.
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman. For America and a waiting world, Integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home. Passing 100,000 feet now. Range to splash down 19 nautical miles.
Vamos. Cuidado.
Integrity, impact to the camera controller fail is no Cab 1 views of the chutes.
Integrity.
We're processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of Integrity, time to splash down 4.5 minutes. And a view of Integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000 feet.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
The pyros are armed for forward bay cover jettison.
Vamos.
Vale. Tómate, cándale chichita, ¿cierto?
Vamos. Bien.
And there go the first series of parachutes. And we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
Vamos.
2 good drogue shoots. Next up.
We copy. We see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
Lanza el paracaídas, huevonao. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Falta el paracaídas principal, pues. Vamos, 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 vamos.
Passing through 10,000 feet. Still on drogues.
Ah, bueno. Ah, bien, 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 bien.
Main
Ah,
chute deploy.
bien, bien. Estamos al otro lado. Vamos. Funcionen.
We're at 5,000 feet. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on Integrity.
Bien. Bien. Ah, qué bueno.
And we have 3 good main shoots.
Excelente.
Good 3 main
Estamos
shoots,
todos
good
con-
reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3
Excelente.
good-looking parachutes. Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
This is a perfect descent for Integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
Algo está pasando ahí.
Passing through 1,000 feet.
Sí, pero por lo menos hablaron hace un rato atrás. Hace menos de 2 minutos hablaron. Estaban bien. Sí. Pero ¿por qué esas llamas? ¿Por qué hace eso? Sí.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Bien.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time,
Bien.
5:07 p.m.
Llegó a la
Pacific
Tierra.
Time.
Qué tremendo.
From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon,
Sí.
a new chapter of the
Ahora tienen que
exploration
ir
of
los
our celestial
helicópteros.
neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Sí.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
Bueno, con esto cerramos la transmisión. Espero que les haya gustado. Quedó registro en YouTube, así que estamos más tranquilos.
The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central
7:07,
Time. We'll
okay.
get that refined for you. That would
Nos
put
vemos.
the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds. And we're configuring for very low data rate. Once again, splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. How else?
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post-landing.
Perfect communications established.
A journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
Ya,
Houston, copy
nos
all.
despedimos. Excelente fue esto.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is